Hello, welcome to my class. I am Pamela Jasmine. Today I am going to teach a Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 2. When the scene begins, we can see Bassanio, Portia, Nerissa, and Gratiano. Portia, I pray you, tarry, pause a day or two before you hazard. For in choosing wrong, I lose your company. Therefore, forbear a while. Here, Portia is requesting, I pray you, tarry, pause a day or two. Please wait a day or two before you hazard, before you take the risk. What is the risk here? Choosing the casket. For in choosing wrong, I lose your company. If you choose the wrong casket, I will lose your company. Therefore, forbear a while. There is something tells me, but it is not love. I would not lose you, and you know yourself, hate counsels not in such a quality. So she is requesting him to wait. There is something tells me, forbear a while, there is something tells me, please wait for some time. Something tells me that it is not love. I would not lose you, I should not lose you. And you know yourself, hate counsels not in such a quality. If it is hatred, love, I know that it is not love, but hatred does not advise like that. But lest you should not understand me well, and yet a maiden hath no tongue but thought. I would detain you here some month or two before you venture for me. I could teach you how to choose right, but then I am forsworn. Here, but lest you should not understand me well, you cannot understand me well because, and yet a maiden hath no tongue. A maiden cannot talk openly, but thought. She can only think about it. A maiden is not supposed to talk everything openly. Earlier time, maidens, that means young girls, cannot propose or open up their love to anyone. But now it has changed. Even girls can propose. I would detain you here some month or two before you venture for me. I could teach you. See, I would detain you. Detain you means make you stay here. I will not let you go for 1 or 2 months, and then I can teach you how to choose the correct casket. I could teach you how to choose right, but then I am forsworn. But if I teach you like that, I am forsworn. Forsworn means I am going against the oath. She has taken an oath according to her father's will that she cannot choose her own husband. See, she should marry the person who choose the right casket. So will I never be. I will not do that. I will not forswear. I will not go against the sacred oath which she has taken before her father. So may you miss me, but if you do so, you will make me wish a sin that I had been forsworn. So if you lose me, or if you choose the wrong casket and if you lose me, then I would say I'll be forced to wish something, wish a sin. What is that sin? That I had been forsworn. If I have forsworn, that means if I would have go against the oath and teach you the to choose the right casket. Bishru your eyes. They have overlooked me and divided me. Bishru, that means she is feeling shy. Take away your eyes from me. Your eyes have a magic spell. There is a charm. There is a magic in your eyes that divides me into two. Then, one half of me is yours, the other half yours. Your looks have a magic spell on me, and that divides me into two. One half is yours, and the other half is also yours. Mine own, the other half, one half is Bassanio's and the other half is Portia's. The Portia's half is also belongs to Bassanio, because whatever belongs to her is Bassanio's, according to Portia. Mine on, I would say, but if mine, then yours, my half, the half portion. See, your looks divides me into two. One half goes to you, and the other half belongs to me. And even that half is also yours. Whatever belongs to me is yours. And so all yours, then all, totally I am yours. Oh, these naughty times put bars between the honors and their rights. This time is very naughty. This time is wrong. That put barriers between the owners and their rights. And so, though yours, not yours, prove it so. So, even though I am yours, you cannot enjoy or you cannot possess it because of this bad time, because of this naughty time. Let fortune go to hell for it. Not I. Let fortune be at fault. Fortune is the wrongdoer here, not I. I do not do anything wrong. It is because of the fortune, because of the luck. I speak too long, but it is to peace the time, to egg it and to draw it out in length, to stay you from election. I am talking so much. It is only to pass time, because I want to delay the election. That means election means the choice of casket. She wants Bassanio to be with her. If Bassanio choose the wrong casket, he should leave immediately. Bassanio, let me choose, for as I am, I live upon the rack. Let me choose. I am tortured because I cannot wait anymore. I feel as if I am on the rack. Rack is an instrument of torture. See, it is used see, if a person betrays his country, that person would be tortured on rack. Then he would confess the truth. So, here Bassanio feels, when he waits to make the choice, he feels as if he is tortured. Portia, upon the rack, Bassanio, then confess what treason there is mingled with your love. She catches on that word. She catches that word. Treason. No, sorry, rack. Upon the rack, Bassanio, then confess. You are upon the rack. Then confess. Then tell it openly that what treason you have done. Treason means one who betrayal of the country. So the persons who does treason, that means one who betrays his own country, is tortured on the rack, and then he will be forced to confess. Bassanio, none but that ugly treason of mistrust which makes me fear the enjoying of my love. There may as well be amity and life between snow and fire as treason and my love. Then Bassanio is telling that this ugly treason of mistrust, he does not have trust in himself, that what choice he would make, whether he would lose his love, whether he would lose Portia. That is the only treason of mistrust. There may as well be amity and life between snow and fire. Treason and love cannot be friends, cannot be matched, cannot be together. Snow and fire cannot be together as treason and my love. Portia, but I fear you speak upon the rack where men enforced do speak anything. I fear that you are on the rack, and on the rack people or men may be forced to speak anything. Bassanio, promise me life and I will confess the truth. You promise me life. His life is Portia's love. If he gets Portia's love, he will live. So, promise me life and I will confess the truth. If you promise me your love, then I'll confess the truth. Portia, well then, confess and live. Then Portia tells, then you confess and live. Bassanio, confess and love had been the very sum of my confession. O happy torment, when my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance. But let me to my fortune and the caskets. Here, confess and love, that is what Bassanio tells, had been the very sum of my confession. His sum of his confession, total, the together, everything together of his confession is love. Oh, happy torment, when my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance. Here he takes this torture a happy torment because Portia is torturing him. So it is a happy torment, and the torturer herself teaches him answers for release, for deliverance. But let me to my fortune and the casket. But let me go to my fortune and choose my caskets. Let me choose the casket. Let me try my luck. Curtain drawn from before the caskets. 3 caskets were kept there, and there was a curtain. That curtain was drawn, and the 3 caskets were visible. Portia. Away. Then I am locked in one of them. If you do love me, you will find me out. Then Portia instructs him. There are 3 caskets. In one of the caskets, I am locked. That means in one of the caskets, my portrait is kept. If you do love me, you will find me out. If you really love me, you will find it out. You will find the right casket. Nerissa and the rest stand all aloof. Then she instructs Nerissa and others to stand little away. Let music sound while he doth make his choice. Then, if he lose, he makes a swan-like end, fading in music, that the comparison may stand more proper. My eye shall be the stream, and watery deathbed for him. Then Portia instructs the musicians to play music when Bassanio makes his choice. So there are different types of music. If Bassanio loses, then there should be a music that means that he makes a swan-like end. The music should be like that. So that swan is a bird which sings when it dies. That music will fade, and finally it stops. That's the way it dies. So here, if Bassanio loses, he would make a swan-like end. The music will be like that, fading in music. That the comparison may stand more proper. And another very proper comparison is made here. My eye shall be the stream. That Portia will cry like anything, and her eyes will become a stream and watery deathbed for him, and that will be the watery deathbed for Bassanio. He may win. Then another type of music. If he wins, what type of music? He may win, and what is music then? Then what type of music it should be? Then music, even as the flourish when true subjects bow to a new crowned monarch. So the music will be that winning music will be like this. A music that is played when a newly crowned monarch appears and the subjects bow before him. Then there is a music. So if Bassanio wins, then music will be like that. And one more music. Then music is such it is are those dulcet sounds in break of day that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear and summon him to marriage. And early in the morning of the marriage day, the bridegroom is wakened up with the music which summons him to get ready for the marriage. Now he goes. Like that, the music should be played. Now he goes with no less presence, but with much more love. Now he goes. Bassanio goes with no less presence, but with much more love than young Alcides. Who is Alcides? Alcides is Hercules, the Greek hero. So he goes with much dignity. That means no less presence. That means he goes like a Hercules only. With that same dignity, he goes, but with much more love. But he goes with more love, much more love than Alcides or Hercules, when he did redeem the virgin tribute paid by howling Troy to the sea monster. See, Alcides or Hercules has gone to save Hesione, the princess or the daughter of the king of Troy, who was offered, Hesione was offered for a sea monster. And Hercules went to save Hesione from the sea monster for for a reward offered by the Trojan king to save Hesione. So Hercules went to save Hesione from the sea monster only for the reward, not for love. But Bassanio goes to choose the right casket to for love, for the love for Portia. That is why here much more love. Then I stand for sacrifice. Here Portia compares herself to Hesione, who stands for the sacrifice. The rest aloof are the Dardanian wives. The rest are Nerissa, Gratiano, and the attendants. They were compared to Dardanian wives. Dardanian wives are the people of or the citizens of Troy. So when Hercules went to save Hesione, these people of Troy were waiting there to see the outcome with tears in their eyes. Like that, here the Dardanian wives, here Nerissa and others were waiting to see the outcome with bleared visages. That means the faces stained with tears. They come forth to view the issue of the exploit. They all came to see the result or the outcome of the attempt. Go, Hercules. Here Portia calls Bassanio Hercules. Go, Hercules. Live thou, I live. With much more dismay, I view the fight than thou that makest the fray. Here I am waiting here. See, live thou. You make the right choice, then only I will live. With much more dismay, I am waiting here with much more eagerness than yourself. Here, Portia is waiting there eagerly than the person or than Bassanio himself, who is making the right choice. Music. While Bassanio comments on the caskets to himself. When Bassanio approaches the caskets, there is music. See the music. Tell me, where is fancy bred, or in the heart, or in the head? How begot, how nourished? Reply. So here music is like that. Tell me where fancy breeds, where fancy is born, in the heart or in the head. How begot, how nourished, how it is grown, how it is born and how it is nourished. Reply. It is engendered in the eye. It is born. This fancy is born in the eyes. Because when we look at a person and if he or she is beautiful, we are attracted by our eyes. With gazing fed, by looking at that person again and again, it is fed. That fancy is fed. And fancy dies in the cradle where it lies. Then that fancy, that attraction dies in the cradle only. That means fancy is not long-lived. External glitters, external beauty is not long-lived. Let us all ring fancy's knell. I will begin it, ding dong bell. And let us ring the death knell, fancy's knell. I will begin it, ding dong bell. Then all ding dong bell. Then Bassanio is approaching the caskets. Bassanio. So may the outward shows be least themselves. Bassanio tells that outward show is not real. We cannot trust it. The world is still deceived with ornament. The world is cheated. People are cheated by ornaments. Ornaments means external glitters. In law, what plea so tainted and corrupt, but being seasoned with a gracious voice, obscures the show of evil. In the court of law, in the court, the plea may be so tainted and corrupt, so polluted and so bad and corrupt, but being seasoned with a gracious voice, obscures the show of evil. But it is seasoned. It is seasoned. That means it is argued by a gracious voice. By a lawyer may argue the case with pleasing words, and covers the show of evil. The corrupt person may be saved by the good words or good arguments of a lawyer. In religion, what damned error, but some sober bro will bless it and approve it with a text. In religion, it may be a damned error, a cursed mistake, but some sober bro means a priest, a serious person, may bless it and approve it with a text. That sin may be approved with a text, with a quoting from the Bible. That person may be blessed and with a Bible quoting. Then, hiding the grossness with fair ornaments, the vulgarity or the mistakes or wrongdoings are hidden by external glory or external glitters. There is no wise so simple but assumes some mark of virtue on his outward parts. So there is no vice, there is no evil that cannot be covered with the appearance of some outward parts. Every every evil is covered with the show of virtue, goodness. How many cowards whose hearts are all as false as tares of sand wear yet upon their chins the beards of Hercules and frowning Mars. How many cowards? People may be really cowards. They are not at all brave, but still they would have a brave appearance by growing beards and assume the appearance of Hercules or Mars. You know who is Hercules? Hercules is a Greek hero, and Mars is the god of war. By growing beards, they assume the appearance of these brave heroes. But whose hearts are all as false as stairs of sand, but from inside their heart is like stairs of sand. See, sand, it is not stable, no, it is loose. In a wind, it can be flown. So, but from their outward show is like a Hercules and Mars. Who inward searched these cowards? If we search their inner side, their livers have livers white as milk, and these assume but values excrement to render them redoubted. If we search them inward, we can see that they have livers as white as milk. In Shakespeare's time, it is believed that brave people have a red liver, and cowards have white liver. So, if here Bassanio tells that some people appear very brave from outside in their show, but if we search inside, their liver is white as milk. And these assume but values excrement to render them redoubted. But they make others believe that these cowards make others believe that they are very brave by their outward show. And you look on beauty, and you shall see it is purchased by weight. You look at beauty, it is not genuine. It can be purchased by weight. That means people put so much of makeup, so much of cosmetics, and appear beautiful. Then, which therein works a miracle in nature, making them lightest that wear most of it. And with this makeup, with this cosmetics, they play miracle on nature. That means by nature they may be ugly, but with this makeup and cosmetics, they play miracle on the real nature, and they appear beautiful before others, making them lightest that wear most of it. So are those crisped, snaky golden locks which make such wanton gambols with the wind upon supposed fairness, often known to be the dowry of a second head, the skull that bred them in the sepulchre. Some ladies, they have golden locks, that means golden hair, golden locks. So are those crisped, snaky golden locks. Some ladies have show off. They show off with golden locks. That means golden curly hair, which make such wanton gambols with the wind. These curly hair would play mischievously in the wind. That means these curls will that dance in the winds. Upon supposed fairness, often known to be the dowry of a second head. But this beautiful hair may be may be taken from a dead body, or see, upon the supposed fairness, often known to be the dowry of a second head. It is taken from another head. This curly hair may be taken from another head. The skull that bred them in the sepulchre, that the owner of that hair may be in the grave. This hair may be the owner of the hair. This golden hair may be somebody else's. That person may be buried in the sepulchre. Thus, ornament is but the gilt shore to a most dangerous sea. These ornaments, these external beauty or external glitters, are like a beautiful shore, beautiful seashore. We feel, when we see the beach of a sea, we feel that it is very beautiful. But the sea is very dangerous. This shore or this beach, when we see the beach, we feel that it is very beautiful. But the sea behind it, behind the shore, is very dangerous. A beauty scarf veiling an Indian beauty, in a word. The seeming truth which cunning times put on to entrap the wisest. And see, even a beautiful scarf can hide the darkness of an Indian beauty. Indian beauties, see, according to them, Indians are dark. So their darkness and darkness can be covered with a scarf, veiled. That means covered with a scarf, and with a beautiful scarf. When we see the beautiful scarf, we feel that that girl, that lady is very beautiful. But that scarf covered her darkness. In a word, if we conclude it, the seeming truth which cunning times put on to entrap the wisest. So these seeming truth, the external appearance, may trap, may cheat even the wisest people. So we cannot trust, trust the appearance and choose. Therefore, thou gaudy gold, hard food for Midas. Therefore, thou gaudy gold, hard food for Midas. So you know who is Midas? Midas was a mythological hero who got a blessing from Apollo, that whatever he touches would become gold. But Midas was so greedy, and he accepted. He asked for that boon and he got it. But it was very hard. It was very difficult for Midas to eat food, because when he even touches food, even food became gold. So it became very hard for him to live. So Bassanio rejected the gold casket. I will none of thee. I am not choosing thee. I am not choosing gold. Nor none of thee, thou pale and common drudge between man and man. And none of thee, not even silver, thou pale and common drudge. You are pale, that silver. I have nothing to do with you. I will have nothing with silver, which is white, and it is a token of transaction. Thou pale and common drudge between man and man, because coins are made with silver. As for transaction, people use this silver. So Bassanio rejected even silver. But thou mere lead, which rather threatenest than dost promised aught. But you pale lead, which rather threatenest than doth promised aught. So there is that inscription on the lead casket is threatening, but still rather than promising. Thy paleness moves me more than eloquence. The paleness of the lead attracts him more than the eloquence, more than the brightness of gold and silver. And here choose I, joy be the consequence. Here I am choosing you. The result of this choice may be happy, may be joy. Portia. How all the other passions flee to air as doubtful thoughts, and rash embrace despair, and shuddering fear, and green-eyed jealousy. O love, be moderate. Allay thy ecstasy, in measure reign thy joy. Scanned this excess, I feel too much by blessing, make it less, for fear I surfeit. So Portia is excited. She is overwhelmed. How all the other passions flee to air. All her passions disappeared in the air. Which are the other passions? As doubtful thoughts. She was doubting whether Bassanio would choose the right one or the wrong casket. That doubt is gone. The rash embrace despair. That despair that make a person yield so soon. We will become desperate very soon. So even that despair is also flown. And shuddering fear and trembling fear. When we are afraid, we will tremble. Even that fear is gone. And green-eyed jealousy. That jealousy is also gone. She is not feel jealousy of anyone, because she got whatever she wanted. Oh, love, be moderate. So she is here. Love is in plenty. Love, be moderate. It is so much, so excess of love. So she is telling, love, be moderate. Allay thy ecstasy. So here she is excited. Control your emotions, over emotions. In measure reign thy joy. Be in limits. Keep this overflowing happiness in limits. Scan this excess. I feel too much thy pleasing. Too much thy blessing. Make it less. I feel that your blessing is too much. Make it less. Make it moderate. For fear I surfeit. Because if it is too much, I may fall ill. So she is overwhelmed. Bassanio. What find I here? What do I find here? What am I finding here? Opening the leaden casket, he opens the lead casket. Fair Portia's counterfeit. What demigod hath come so near creation? So in the leaden casket, he could find Portia's portrait. Fair Portia's counterfeit. Fair Portia's portrait. What demigod hath come so near creation? What demigod means semigod, half god, hath come so near creation. God is the creator. No, here he calls the artist who made this portrait a demigod, because his creation is come to come so near to the original. Move these eyes. Eyes are moving or what? Oh, whether riding on the balls of mine seem they in motion. So eyes are seemed as if they are in motion. So the eyeballs of the portrait is riding on the eyeballs of Bassanio. Here are severed lips parted with sugar breath, and then her lips, the portrait's lips are parted with sweet breath. So sweet a bar should sunder such sweet friends. Here both the lips are compared to two friends. These two friends are parted with a sweet breath. It is slightly opened. Here in her hairs the painter placed the spider, and her hair is so beautiful. The artist who made the hair did the work of a spider and hath woven a golden mesh. Here the hair is golden, and the hair is like a golden mesh to entrap the hearts of men faster than gnats in cobwebs. Here her hair is made, the hair is golden, and it is like a mesh which is made to entrap the hearts of men, like flies are entrapped in a cobweb. But her eyes, how could he see to do them, having made one? So her eyes are so beautiful. How could the artist make the other eye after making one eye? Because methinks it should have power to steal both his. This eyes are so beautiful that even one eye has the power to have a spell on the artist's eyes, because he would become blind to see the power of the eyes which he has made in the portrait. And methinks it should have power to steal both his, and leave itself unfurnished. Yet look how far the substance of my praise doth wrong this shadow in underpricing it. But these words of praise, here Bassanio has praised the statue, praised the portrait so much, but still it is not sufficient according to Bassanio. The substance of my praise doth wrong this shadow. I am doing some wrong by not choosing enough good words to praise this statue, praise this portrait. By in underpricing it, I am underpricing it. I am not pricing, or I am not giving so much of value it deserves. So far this shadow doth limp behind the substance, but one thing is there, this portrait is limping. It is it is so far away from the original. So far this shadow doth limp behind the substance. The original is far better than the portrait. So it is limping actually. It is not walking properly. It is far behind. Here is the scroll, the continent and summary of my fortune. Then Bassanio finds the scroll, a paper roll, in which something is written, the content and summary of my fortune. So in that it is written, the summary of his fortune. This scene is a very big scene. So now I am stopping this scene, and I'll come with the remaining part very soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe, share and like it. Thank you. God bless.